The bond between a parent and their child is a strong one, as Christian Guerrero and his mother prove. When, as a young woman, she gave birth, the new mom made an adoption plan to provide her baby with a better life. Well, the pair are finally reunited after 47 years, and they couldn't be happier. Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. Ever since Guerrero separated from his mother, who wishes to remain unnamed, he felt something was missing. A piece of him was gone that, in time, he knew he had to reclaim. The same could be said for Guerrero's mother, too, who was heartbroken when circumstances forced the pair apart. But even after almost 5 decades, mother and son kept hoping to meet again. For Guerrero, that search started when he used several different methods to locate his birth mother. And the questing son's efforts paid off when he saw a photo of a particular woman and knew he'd found her. When Guerrero confirmed the woman in the picture was indeed his mother, he reached out to contact her. Thankfully, she was ecstatic to hear from him, and the pair arranged to meet. All that remained then was their reunion, which took Guerrero back to his place of birth. There, he experienced one of the most emotional moments of his life. Guerrero was born in Austin, Texas, at Brackenridge Hospital in June 1972. However, the event was both a joyous occasion and an emotionally shattering one. That's because Guerrero's mother was just 14 when she gave birth. As a result, she chose adoption for the baby, so it was also the day the pair had to say goodbye. But 47 years have passed since then, and a lot can change over the decades. For example, Guerrero no longer lives in Austin, having moved to Abingdon, Maryland. During that time, he married a woman called Jennifer and got a rather unusual job. He, in fact, herds goats for a living. 47 years ago, Guerrero's 14-year-old mother thought someone else could provide her son with a better life. With this in mind, she placed him with an adopted family, but he always felt he was missing something. "There's a connection, a bond with your mother," he told CBS Baltimore in 2019. "I can't really explain it. I've never had it." And so Guerrero started searching for his biological mother, as he revealed in an interview with Austin's KXAN News in 2019. "I've been looking for her really hard since Christmas of last year," he explained. "It can't have been an easy search either. There are often stipulations in adoption that limit information gathering, especially on the parent side. One of the ways around unidentified birth parents is to investigate your genealogy yourself, and that's exactly what Guerrero did. But where do you even begin researching something like that? Well, for this adoptee, it started with a Christmas gift that proved invaluable to the search ahead. Specifically, someone gave Guerrero a DNA testing kit. The kit was actually for a website called Ancestry.com, which helps users explore their family history. The process can take anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, after which the organization will provide you results. But that was just the start of Guerrero's journey. Indeed, it took more than a DNA database to locate his long-lost mother. That's when he turned to the social media site Facebook for further answers. Love it or hate it, one thing is certain about social media: it puts you in touch with people. In Guerrero's case, he tracked down a Facebook group designed to reunite adoptees with their biological parents. In turn, he also managed to contact someone experienced with putting together family trees. The person in question is a genealogist called Lois, who helped Guerrero find his mother. "Once I found her, I saw her picture, and I knew it was her. That hole that I had, it started to fill up. I can't wait to meet her." Guerrero then spoke to his mother on the phone, and at some point they arranged to meet. So he headed back to Austin, purchased some flowers, and prepared to see his biological mother for the first time. Fortunately, news crews caught their reunion on camera, and it was heartwarming. The video shows Guerrero's mom rushing up to him with an "oh my god" and throwing her arms around him. "It's so good to see you finally," she cries as she holds him tightly. Their meeting is so emotional that it brings both of them to tears, which continue throughout their subsequent interview. "The last time I saw Guerrero was when I held him in my arms as a baby," the mother said of her son. "And I was just a 14-year-old teenager, and it was difficult to let him go." As for Guerrero, he explained during the interview that meeting his mom has completed him. "For me, it's filled a hole I've had in my heart for a long time," a tearful Guerrero said. "I'm whole again," he continued, hugging his mother and breaking down. "It's okay," she replied. "You're here now. We're together now." The pair then spent 5 days in Austin getting to know each other. Guerrero's happy reunion isn't the only joy-filled ending that DNA tests have helped produce. Indeed, an alternative genealogy website to Ancestry.com, MyHeritage, introduced an Ohio mother to her daughter after 30 years apart. It all began when Sue Bailey, née Ellis, discovered she was pregnant quite late into her term. In fact, the mom-to-be was 7.5 months pregnant when she found out she was carrying a child. In March 2019, Bailey, who is now 56, told the AJC newspaper that unfortunately she didn't feel properly prepared. She said, "I was not equipped to deal with a baby. It's not that I didn't love her." As a result, Bailey placed her daughter in an adoption program when she was born. However, the new mother always considered that her child might be curious about her beginnings later in life. "I made my choice on April 7, 1987, Bailey revealed. "It was her quest if she wanted to come find me." Shirley and Melvin Behrman then brought up Bailey's biological daughter as their own and named her Jenna. She grew up well cared for and loved, but her adopted parents didn't hide her origins. She told AJC, "They always told me I was adopted. I still had questions. I had to have answers." Behrman's search began in earnest in 2005 when her adopted mother passed away. Armed with adoption records, she managed to glean a few scant tidbits of info. She also discovered her birth mother's maiden name, despite an attempt to conceal it with whiteout on the paperwork. The name, Sue Ellis, was, in fact, just visible when exposed to the light. However, Behrman's quest didn't get off to a promising start. Her search for Sue Ellis proved fruitless. "I could never find anything," she added, attributing the lack of success to her birth mother's common name. But DNA technology succeeded where traditional methods failed, thanks to assistance from MyHeritage. The Family Tree organization contacted Behrman, offering to provide a DNA test for free, which she gratefully accepted. Fortunately, the results turned up some information that her earlier efforts couldn't. They pointed her to Massachusetts, where her biological great-aunt resided, who had additional breadcrumbs for the adoptee's trail. She then discovered another family member. To be more specific, Behrman's great-aunt revealed that the adoptee had an uncle residing in Columbus, Ohio. That was her next port of call, but unfortunately wasn't a direct line to her birth mom. On the other hand, the uncle did have another piece of the puzzle. It turned out that she had a half-sister called Rachel who had a social media account. Fortunately, Bailey had the foresight to tell her subsequent children that they had a half-sister out there somewhere. So when Behrman contacted Rachel on Facebook, it was probably less of a shock than it could have been. Rachel gave Behrman her mother's phone number, and finally, 30 years after her adoption, she had a one-to-one with her biological mom. "Within an hour, I was talking to Behrman on the phone," Bailey told AJC. "That was an awkward conversation. On the one hand, however, it wasn't an unexpected one." As she elaborated, "To be honest with you, I was not surprised that she called. It was shocking just how close her daughter lived, though. In fact, Behrman was just 45 minutes away by road in Loveland, Ohio." So, how'd the family react to the mother-daughter reunion, and how do they feel about it now? Bailey always maintained that she wouldn't contact Behrman out of respect for her life with her adopted family. She left that decision in her daughter's hands. Behrman was their daughter, Bailey said of Shirley and Melvin, but the adoptee herself had more than one surprise for Bailey. She had a 5-year-old daughter of her own, called Bonnie. That made the 56-year-old a grandmother for the 11th time. And of course, Bailey had kids of her own to introduce to her long-lost child as well. Bailey's son, 23-year-old Aaron, is one of them, and he couldn't wait to meet his sibling. "I always knew she existed," he revealed. "I just didn't think it was going to happen. I'm ecstatic." For her part, the adoptee didn't know what to expect when they first called her birth mom or how he would react. Behrman said, "When you're adopted, you have no idea of the background that led up to your adoption. I didn't know if Bailey would be accepting. Now that she's met her biological family members, though, the adoptee knows that she worried needlessly." Indeed, since Behrman found her birth mother, she's realized she was missing something all along. "I feel I've come full circle," she told the AJC. "I feel complete." As for Bailey, she hopes to see more of her daughter and granddaughter in the future, stating, "I expect a lot more visits."